Alright, today I just want to sit down. Well, I guess I'm standing and pacing right now, but I still want to talk to y'all about 6-star champions. And this offer right here sparked this topic of interest. Now, this is $30 for a 6-star champion selector. This has never been seen before at all, right? This used to be 18,000 units back like almost a year ago. So let that sink in because it sunk in with me. And it had me thinking, how should I be feeling about 6-star champions right now? What is the current state of 6-star characters to where they sell a champion selector for $30? And should we be worried about the future of 6-star characters? Well, let me just tell you straight up, I think that 6-star champions are fine. I think that there is pretty much no worries right now, but emphasis on the right now because there are current things that keep 6-star champions in the meta and in relevancy. And here are those things. Well, first things first, they are way easier to sig up than 7-star characters. And this makes some 7-star champions inferior to their 6-star counterparts. For example, Killmonger and Korg, some of the best defenders in the game that honestly are inferior to their 6-star counterparts. I think 7-star Korg and Killmonger, for the most part, are less valuable when compared to a Sig 200, Rank 5 Killmonger or Korg, because those guys have their full defensive abilities maxed out. And while the 7-stars have more health and have more attack rating, the defensive core of the champions are locked behind 200 Sigs. So I would honestly have a 6-star Rank 5 Killmonger over a 7-star Rank 2 Killmonger, because also he gets a massive benefit on attack as well if he's max sig, so it is just the best of both worlds. And this also applies to attacking champions. For example, my second favorite champion in this game, which is Namor, is now a 7-star character. And here's why I'm not too fussed about that. Because he wants max sig to be his best self. As an attacker, he does do great damage unawakened, but for his utility, he really wants to have max sig. And as a 7-star champion, you will not get that for a very long time. Like a really, really long time. So I am not too fussed about the 7-star version when I have a 6-star Rank 5 Sig 200 Namor at my disposal. So that should show you just how important 6-stars are still, because some characters really want to have their signature levels all the way up to 200. For example, like I said, Korg, Killmonger, Namor, who's now a 7-star champion, even other characters that are currently a 7-star featured character, like Photon really wants max sig on defense, Kindred wants max sig as well, and is much easier to fight when he's unawakened, and this is why Kindred is one of the best Ascensions to do right now. And speaking of Ascensions, let's talk about Ascension, because this keeps 6-star champions in the competitive scene with 7-star characters. Now, a 6-star Ascended champion is equal to a 7-star Rank 2 champion, pretty much at least. So that really makes them viable yet again to go up against those 7-star characters. Like a 7-star Rank 2 Hercules is insane, right? Like imagine that. And now we can get that with Ascension, so that just makes things a lot crazier. And remember when I said that 7-star Rank 2 Korg and Killmonger have more health than their, 6-star versions? Well, not technically anymore, because you can ascend Rank 5 Korg or Rank 5 Killmonger, and boom, you have a 7-star Rank 2 Sig 200 Korg or Killmonger that is way stronger than a 7-star Korg or Killmonger. So that just really puts things in perspective on just how powerful 6-star champions can still be. So I wouldn't worry too much about 6-star champions right now. And additionally, one more thing of note, some 6-star champions are just gonna be way too good to be added as a 7-star character. Now this is most notable with, of course, Hercules and Kitty Pryde, who, in my opinion, won't ever be 7-star champions. Maybe Kitty Pryde will be in the future. Same thing with Ghost, I guess. Like, Ghost is still a top 3 champion in this game, in my opinion, so I don't know about Ghost being a 7-star, but it's not impossible. But with Hercules, it probably isn't possible. So this gives 6-star champions some value still, because some 6-star characters are going to stay 6 stars for the longest time. So that is their best power level so far. And then with Ascension, you can ascend those 6-star, probably 7-star locked characters and make them pretty much a 7-star for now. And that just keeps them in the competitive loop, which is what you want for a champion. It makes them relevant for a really long time. So let's put it all together. First off, you can Sig 200 a 6-star champion way easier than a 7-star champion. Additionally, some 6-star champions are just straight up not going to be 7-star characters, so having a 6-star version of them is still really valuable to have. And last but not least, those 6-star, 7-star locked characters can be ascended to match the power level of a 7-star rank 2 champion. So all those things make 6 stars fine in my opinion, right? But let's talk about the other side of things. How are 6-star champions in danger? Well, let's go over this right now. So, like I said, ascending a 6-star champion makes them as strong as a 7-star rank 2 character. Well, not really in some cases, because 7-star champions have stat focus, so this always gives them the edge over a 6-star character, because on defense they have stronger defensive abilities with like block penetration, and on attack they have more crit rating or crit damage rating. Now, does this make some champions stronger than their Sig 200 rank 5 ascended counterparts? Not necessarily. I feel like even a Killmonger with block penetration still is inferior to a max Sig Killmonger. That's just my opinion though, at least, right? But it still is like a base advantage over 6-star champions, because 6-star champions will never get stat focus, right? But here's the big thing. 7-star champions have access to further ranks. And while this isn't important right now, it will be pretty soon, I feel like. Because here's the thing. In October, in Battle Realm Brawl, the top prize is a 7-star rank 3 champion. And while that seems like crazy right now, is it like telling you that 7-star rank 3s aren't actually too far away? I personally think so, and I think that in December we'll see the first steps to 7-star rank 3 champions. Now, I could be wrong, I probably am wrong, it could be like July, it could be even next Cyber Monday, but I feel like the step towards rank 3 champions is coming soon, and once we have our first rank 3, then 6-star champions are officially really inferior to 7-star characters. And that could change, right? Because Ascension could get more ranks. We don't know if that's going to happen at all, but if it does happen, then that's going to be a massive change, because it will still make 6-star characters competitive with 7-star characters. But if Ascension only has 1 rank, then yeah, 6-star champions will be in trouble, but not for now at least. That is something for the future. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the current state of 6-star characters. Of course, for like progressing players, 6 stars are still everything, and that makes sense. That's how it should be. But for like really endgame players, 6-star champions might have faded a bit. And for me personally, because I am, I guess, an endgame player, I would say that 6-star champions are still really valuable, especially because they're easier to get. You can sig them up easier as well, and that's pretty much their biggest selling points right now. So yeah, 6-star characters I still think are great. I think they still have a ton of like life left. It won't be until 7-star rank 3s happen, but even once that happens, ascended 6 stars should still take them pretty well, like in Battlegrounds or Alliance War. So is there really a worry to even consider? I don't think so personally, but you know, there's always the arguments that can make 6-star champions in danger, but for now we can just enjoy them because they are fine. I think they're completely fine. But let me know your thoughts on this topic. Do you think that 6-star champions are fine right now? And yeah, that's about it for me.